Hey, this is AJ Students. Welcome to Homework 2.9, add and subtract rational numbers. As extension homework calculator is okay. Obviously, if you watch the video, go ahead and put the check mark. So you're going to label the type and then give me the answer. So number one, negative 1.25 plus negative 4.55. That's obviously an SSAK, same signs, add them up and keep. So go ahead, and it doesn't matter how you label them, top or bottom, but you want to line them up on the decimal. You can double check with your calculator if you need to, but when you add this up, you should get 4, so you should get 5.8. Just remember to keep the sign though, so negative 5.8. The next one, 68.75 minus 9.18. This is a different sign, subtract more. So really you can keep it as plus and negative, KCC, right? K, change. This is a negative 9.8, but really you're just subtracting. 68.79 minus 9.18. Subtraction 1, 6. Got to borrow there. Becomes 59. So 59.61 is your answer. Remember, you had more positives, hence why your answer was positive. And then for number 5, it says evaluate the expression when A is 7.28 and B is a negative 4.1. So plug in B, remember, was a negative 4.1, so it's a negative 4.1 minus A, which is 7.28. And when you do that, again, you need to keep change, so plus a negative. So this becomes an SSAK problem. Same signs, add them up and keep. So you could write it vertically, 7.28 plus 4.1, fill in a 0, 8, 3, 11. And then just remember, you want to keep that negative sign, so negative 11.38. You're responsible for 2, 4, and 6. So don't forget to keep change on 4 and keep change on number 6. All right, number 7, it says Jonathan ran 400 meters in 58.01 seconds. What is the difference of his time and the school record time of 55.49? So you want 58.01 minus 55.49 because of the keyword difference. That means subtract. So line it up, 58.01 minus 55.49. You have to do some borrowing here. This becomes a 7, 10, then it becomes a 9, 11, so 2, 5, 2. So 2.52. I'd appreciate it if you put seconds down. All right. Number 9, Justin's bank account has $789.34. Then these transactions appear. What is his balance sheet? So obviously it's 789.34 plus a negative 45.75 plus 145.67 plus 503 plus a negative 782.71. Now again, I'm allowing you to use the calculator on this one, so 789.34 plus a negative 45.75 plus 145.67 plus 503 plus negative 782.71 gave you 609 and 55 cents. All right, so a lot going on there. You can again kind of use the same thing. Number 10, it asks you 2 questions. First of all, is it enough to have $30 to pay for all 4 of those items? So add up all 4 of those items and see if it's less than 35. If so, tell me what the change is. If not, tell me how much she would actually have to owe afterwards. All right, for the skill practice, we just go on to the back and it's fractions. So here, for instance, it's SSAK, same signs, add, keep. And then it says 7 plus 5. We have common denominators already, so that's 12/16 is our answer. You could go ahead and simplify that by dividing by 4, and you would get 3/4 as your answer. For this one, you have to find common denominators, so times 3 times 4, and that gives you 9/12 plus 4/12 minus 11/12. Which is really 13/12 because I added those two together minus 11/12, which gives your answer of 2/12, or which is equal to, I just wrote 16ths, 2/12, which is equal to 1/6. Okay, the type here you could put an X on there because really we're adding and subtracting here, or plus and negative, so it's both an SSAK and a DSSM problem. All right, for number 5, you got 4 3/8 plus a negative 7/8. Notice if I did 3/8 plus 7/8, negative 7/8, I would get a negative 4/8. But I can't slap together a positive 4 and a negative 4/8. This is a DSSM problem. So I have to do 4 plus negative 4/8, which means I'm going to have to borrow from this. So this becomes 3 plus 8/8 plus negative 4/8. And now I can go ahead and answer this, and that's pretty easy. This is a DSSM problem again. My answer is 3 wholes. 8 plus negative 4 is 4. 3 4/8. If you put down, obviously simplify that to 3 1/2, it's probably a more effective answer. All right? So remember that borrowing thing that we were working on in last class. So let's go on to number 7. It says, before lunch, Carol hiked 3 5/8 miles. After lunch, she hiked another 2 7/8 miles. How far did she hike altogether? Altogether obviously means we're going to add 3 5/8 plus 2 7/8. Add this up because this is the same signs, add, keep. So that gives us 5 12/8, right? Because 5 plus 7 is 12. Now obviously this is an improper fraction in itself. This is 1 because 8 goes into 12 one time with 4 left over, 1 4/8. So 5 plus 1 4/8 gives us our answer of 6 4/8, or simplified 6 1/2, right? And it's miles. Make sure to put the units, right? And the last one I'm going to do with you, it says Bradley has ordered a steak from the meat market that weighs 1 5/8 pounds. There was a bone in the steak that weighed 7/8 a pound. How much does the meat weigh? So basically you want the weight of the meat without the bone. So this is a subtraction problem. 1 5/8 minus 7/8. So I can't do the 5 minus 7/8, right? That's going to give me negative. So this is where I do my borrowing, right? So basically if I borrow 1 whole from 1, it becomes 8/8, right? So it's 8/8 plus 5/8 minus 7/8, and I taught you guys how to change subtraction to adding the opposite, so plus and negative, right? So 8/8 plus 5/8, 13/8 plus negative 7/8, and that gives us 5/8, right? So 5/8 of a pound, LBS, is how much just the steak weighs without the bone. Okay, so that's it. Call me if you have questions.